it's Thomas here, and today we're diving into the blue. The Radion Gen 5 blue, that is. Okay, corny, I know. But if you'd like to get familiar with the XR15 and XR30 blues, we're gonna be going over everything from the specs and features to the mounting options and the pros and cons of these coral color pop power panels. Mouthful, the whole shebang basically. So without further ado, let's get cracking. LED Reef lighting has come a very long way, and looking at the evolution of EcoTech's Radion light fixtures from the very first all the way through Gens 2, 3, 4, and now 5 is a great way to appreciate the leaps and bounds LEDs have made. Not only have we come a long way with LED selection, spectrum, and PAR, but also with optics and app control, which has really honed these fixtures into something special that reefers have been having phenomenal success with. Speaking of that success, one of the biggest changes to the Radion Gen 5 fixtures, besides the fantastic new LED layout and optics that make for an incredibly even spread and coverage, is their focus on the super popular and very successful Coral Labs AB+ spectrum that many reefers have adopted for reliable coral growth and stunning coloration and fluorescence, with the addition of the Radion XR15 and XR30 blues. So for those who really loved that spectrum template, instead of having to turn down your whites and reds and all of that and lose some of the PAR, EcoTech answered the call with the blue versions, which swaps out a number of the LEDs from the Pro fixtures for ones that more closely match and enhance the AB+ spectrum, so you can run all channels at 100% and not lose a drop of potential PAR. When you pair that up with the new Mobius App Control that eliminates the need for a reef link or a physical connection, and the new panel style layout with a micro-textured diffuser, you get a very capable coral growing machine. And also, can we just take a moment to gawk at this blue anodized heatsink? That alone is just a super cool detail, and I'm not gonna lie, it almost made me switch away from the Pros that I personally prefer. I want a cool colored anodized heatsink purple. Make them purple. EcoTech, listen to me. Make the heatsink on the Pros purple. Anybody else with me? Guys, gals, let's do this. Come on, purple. Purple, just me? Oh, okay. In the box, you'll find the Radion XR15 or 30 LED light fixture, a set of eyelet mounts, the power supply, and a quick start guide both for the Radion as well as Mobius. The Radion Gen 5 blues are available in two models, the XR15 and the XR30. The XR15 draws 100 watts from the wall and can throw enough light for a 24-inch by 24-inch footprint with enough punch for a mixed reef up to 24 inches deep. If you plan to keep more light-demanding corals like SPS, the spread is going to go down to a roughly 18-inch by 18-inch footprint per XR15. A single XR30, on the other hand, draws 210 watts from the wall and offers a max spread of 30 inches by 30 inches with penetration up to 36 inches deep for a mixed reef, or 24 inches by 24 inches spread and 30 inches depth for more light-demanding corals like SPS. The fixtures themselves are surprisingly compact, especially given that very wide and even light field that they provide. The XR15 sits at just 7 inches square and 1.5 inches thick, while the larger XR30 is less than twice the length at just shy of 12 inches, while sharing the exact same 7-inch depth and 1.5 inch thickness, ultimately making them a very sleek light that's easy to find room for over the tank. Speaking of which, there are actually a number of equally sleek mounting options that you can pair them up with. In the box, EcoTech does provide a set of sturdy eyelets for DIY mounting solutions if that's your thing, but the majority of reefers are most likely going to take advantage of either the hanging kit or the RMS tank mounts, which are one of my absolute favorite mounts available of any light out there. They're made from sturdy aluminum, have a robust clamp that fits tank panels with or without trim up to 1 3/8 of an inch thick, and will be able to center the light on tanks between 12 inches and 30 inches front to back by providing two different lengths of top rail, which is a really nice touch and prevents smaller tanks from having a larger rail that overhangs the back of the tank mount by a ridiculous degree. These RMS tank mounts also hold the fixtures right around 8 inches, which is bang on with our BRS recommended mounting height and provides a fantastic spread of light with minimal spill. The RMS mounting system is also available as a suspended or side-mounted light rail that can accommodate multiple fixtures and has enough strength to support hybrid add-on systems like this X series from Reef. It comes in a range of lengths from 20.5 inches all the way up to 80.5 inches, and components are all available separately so you can mix and match rail lengths and light brackets as needed for the perfect custom setup. Okay, so all of that information on power consumption, tank size, mounting options is actually applicable not just to the blues, but also the pros. So let's get on to what makes these Radion blues special. The LED selection and resulting spectrum of the XR15 and XR30 blue fixtures is tailor-made to create the ideal Coral Labs AB Plus profile with all 8 controllable channels set to 100%. So comparing both of the XR30 models, the blue version provides a wider offering in the blues, obviously, with the addition of cyan and lime diodes instead of the warm white and green that are offered with the Pro fixtures, along with only 6 cool white diodes compared to the Pro's 24, and half the photo reds, and makes up the difference with more royal blue, blue, and violet diodes. The end result is a high-energy, blue-heavy spectrum that is geared not just to coral growth, but also coloration and fluorescence, making it the perfect LED fixture for those that love that Coral Labs AB Plus profile and the eye-catching Grateful Dead glow party reefs that fill up our Instagram feeds and make us drool over these seemingly impossible colors. I mean, yeah, for sure, there's probably a orange lens involved and maybe a couple of those fancy Instagram filters. But still, I think we've all seen those kinds of tanks in person, and it's really hard to deny those corals just look next level. The G5 fixtures also nailed it when it comes to creating that even blanket of par across the entire tank thanks to EcoTech's new hemispherical edge illuminated optics, or HEI for short. Not only do they provide an impressively even blanket of par, but they also provide greatly improved color blending with only small fluctuations while still maintaining a lot of shimmer. And for those who want the best blending possible and a tidier shimmer, the magnetic diffusers you can pick up separately do a fantastic job with minimal effect on par. I personally love these as an add-on, and I use this set myself to completely smooth out the shimmer and nullify any potential color separation on my G5 Pros on that tank behind me. When mounted at the recommended 8 inches off of the surface of the water, both the XR15 and XR30 have a very even and flat spread of par across a 24-inch cube tank when measured at only a 6-inch depth, and that improves even more deeper into the tank, which is very impressive for such a compact fixture. It's very clear that the new LED layout and HEI optics have made huge improvements on how the fixture is able to deliver all of that par to the tank. To control your Radion Generation 5 blues, you can use the EcoTech Mobius app. What's happening? Oh no, 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 I did not mean to do that. Off, 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 off. Okay, there we go. No, off, that's worse. Off, 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 stop, 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 stop. I'm just kidding. The Mobius app is actually quite intuitive and user-friendly, and once your light is set up and plugged in, you download the app, log in, and create a tank, and the app's automatically going to detect any EcoTech devices that are available. You click on the light and it'll add it to the tank, and then you can select your sunrise and sunset times, as well as choose whatever spectrum template you want from the list, including the AB+, which the blue is built around, but you also have the option for Phoenix 14, LPS and Soft, as well as Radiant Color, which are all great options and really helps to take the guesswork out of getting the spectrum right for newer reefers. But like I said, most reefers who get the blue fixtures are likely going to run the AB+. Once set, the schedule will be all laid out for you, including sunrise and sunset, with the whitest appearance in the tank being in the middle of the schedule and the bluest during the ramp up and ramp down. You can also go in and make your own custom schedule if you like, adding, removing, or modifying points, changing their intensity or spectrum to suit your particular needs. And of course, there is also lunar mode for night viewing, acclimation mode for helping your corals adjust to their new lighting, as well as a few fun modes like lightning, color, and disco, so you can show off your crazy lighting to your non-reefing friends, or just be a wacky YouTuber and be super mature when you're making videos about lights. Because the Radion fixtures are so popular, there are also a number of add-ons available for them. To name a few, the Aquatic Life Hybrid T5 fixtures, Reef Bright's K-Series XHO add-on kit, as well as their X-Series XHO hybrid kit, which is actually what I have paired up to my pair of XR15 Gen 5 Pros, and while definitely not a necessity, for those reefers aiming for highlight SPS tanks that want all of that added fill light without the hefty expense of creating a whole bank of flagship LED lights, it's really comforting to know that there are plenty of options available if you want to go down that road. So now we're on to the burning question that has paralyzed many a reefer when faced with it, myself included. Hands up if you're one of those people. Do I get the Radion Blues or the Radion Pros? But the answer is actually really simple. If you prefer a bluer look to your reef tank and really enjoy that Coral Labs AB Plus profile with a focus on coral coloration and fluorescence, and will be running your lights as close to 100% intensity as possible, then the blues are definitely the ticket. On the other hand, if you prefer a whiter full spectrum look to your tank and want to strike a balance between coral fluorescence and highlighting the natural non-fluorescent pigments of not only corals, but also fish and inverts, then the Pros are likely a better match. Now, keep in mind, you can also run that AB Plus spectrum on a Pro fixture or turn down the blues for a whiter look on the blue fixture, but the cyan and lime diodes on the blues will offer a slightly different color rendition on those fluorescent pigments, and likewise, the greens and the warm whites on the Pro will do a better job of showing off natural non-fluorescing pigments. Ultimately, I ended up choosing the Pros for that exact reason, but if you rather not have to turn down the whites and waste precious par to get that bluer look that you prefer, and would rather get a flagship LED tailor-made for crazy coral color with a spectrum focused on the blues and violets, as well as coral fluorescence, then I'm willing to bet that the Radion G5 Blue is going to match your reefing mantra, and if I'm right, you can grab one for yourself by clicking right here.